Welcome to Swadesi Startup Speaks, where we dive into the latest trends shaping India's startup ecosystem. In this episode, we cover Bessemer's $350 million India-focused fund, Digantara's space surveillance milestone, and the growing push for digital competition laws. We also discuss India's ranking in women-led startup funding, AI accelerator investments, and a fresh cybersecurity innovation. Stay tuned for insights into India's booming entrepreneurial landscape. Bessemer Venture Partners closed its second India-focused fund at $350 million, aiming to invest in AI SaaS fintech digital health consumer brands and cybersecurity. This follows its $220 million India fund in 2021, which backed startups like BoldFit and Zopper. Despite being oversubscribed, the fund was capped at $350 million, with backing from global universities, sovereign wealth funds, and family offices. BVP plans to invest $5 million, $40 million in early stage startups and support them through growth stages. It has invested in over 80 Indian startups, including Big Basket and Urban Company. The firm is particularly focused on AI applications and AI-enabled services. Globally, BVP manages $18 billion in assets and has backed companies like Pinterest and LinkedIn. This fund closure follows similar moves by Accel India, $650 million, and Stellaris Venture Partners, $300 million. Indian startup Digantara's commercial space surveillance satellite, SCOT, space camera for object tracking, has begun operations. Launched on January 14th, aboard SpaceX's Transporter 12 rocket SCOT, can track objects as small as 5 centimeters in Earth's orbit. The Bengaluru-based startup announced the milestone on X, stating, "Space just ran out of hiding spots." On Saturday, SCOT captured its first image over South America, showing Buenos Aires glowing against Earth's curvature. As of January 31st, 2025, the Indian government has recognized 161150 startups, with Maharashtra 28511 and Karnataka 16954. Leading in numbers, Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal informed Parliament. These startups, recognized by the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, qualify for tax incentives under the Startup India initiative, which aims to support entrepreneurial growth in the country. Startup Accelerator Change Engine announced a $5 million investment plan over 5 years for early-stage AI startups in India. The program will fund 6 startups annually with $50,000 each, followed by up to $150,000 through syndication. The 6-month accelerator, starting in June 2025, will provide a sandbox for AI product development mentorship and access to a customer advisory board featuring leaders from Amazon, Google, McKinsey, and Adobe. The initiative aims to support AI startups, building machine learning technologies and business applications for the global market. The Alliance of Digital India Foundation is urging the swift implementation of the Digital Competition Bill to protect Indian startups from monopolistic practices by global tech giants. With India's digital economy projected to hit $1 trillion by 2028, ADIF highlights the need for proactive regulations to ensure fair competition for over 31000 startups in AI e-commerce and cloud computing. The bill, introduced in 2024, would grant the Competition Commission of India authority to regulate self-preferencing, restrictive interoperability, and algorithmic bias. ADIF draws parallels with the EU's Digital Markets Act and argues that the law will foster innovation, prevent monopolization, and support India's Atmanirbhar Bharat vision. The organization is pushing for a mid-2025 parliamentary approval, emphasizing that the bill is essential for equitable digital governance and sustainable startup growth. Bessemer Venture Partners closed its second India-focused fund at $350 million to invest in AI SaaS fintech digital health consumer brands and cybersecurity startups. This follows its first $220 million India fund in 2021, which backed startups like BoldFit Pepper Content and Zopper. Despite being oversubscribed, The fund was capped with investors, including global universities and sovereign wealth funds. Launched in October, it plans to invest $5 million, $40 million in early stage startups and support them through later growth. BVP has invested in 80 plus Indian startups, with 9 going public, including Swiggy and Bharat Matrimony. The firm is focusing on AI applications and AI-enabled services. Globally, it manages $18 billion in assets with investments in Pinterest, Shopify, and LinkedIn. BVP's closure follows other VC fundraisers such as Accel India's $650 million fund and Stellaris Venture Partners' $300 million fund. India ranks second after the US in total funding raised by women-led tech startups, amassing $26.4 billion, according to Traxon. India has over 7,000 active women-led startups, making up 7.5% of the country's total startups. The highest funding year was 2021 at $6.3 billion, with Bengaluru leading in startup numbers and funding, followed by Mumbai and Delhi NCR. In 2020, two Indian startups contributed 15.18%, $5 billion, of global women-led startup funding, $32.8 billion. The retail sector secured the highest investment at $7.8 billion, followed by EdTech, $5.4 billion, and enterprise applications, $5 billion. However, acquisitions of women-led startups have declined from 45 in 2021 to 16 in 2024. Despite challenges, these startups are driving innovation, employment, and industry transformation, highlighting the growing influence of women entrepreneurs in India's startup ecosystem. Michael Haney of Galileo Financial Technologies and Dan Williams of KeyBank discussed the increasing need for financial institutions to integrate technology with business strategy. Consumers now expect instant transactions, real-time processing, data-driven insights, and embedded financial services. Banks must modernize infrastructure through APIs, cloud computing, and a data-first approach. Legacy banks are shifting from rip and replace strategies to incremental modernization, ensuring continuous improvement and adaptability. Composable banking, once a strategic advantage, is now essential, with banks partnering with fintechs for innovation. Williams emphasizes that success hinges on execution, not strategy. That's a wrap on this episode of Swadesi Startup Speaks. India's startup scene is buzzing with innovation and funding. Stay tuned for more insights, and don't forget to follow us for the latest updates. Until next time, keep building, keep innovating, and keep the entrepreneurial spirit alive.